Alright guys, we're going to get into my final thoughts on the Galaxy M20. So let's go ahead and run down these specs real quick. So we do have the 6.3 inch Infinity V display with the little teardrop notch. That is 1080 by 2340. We do have a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera. We do have 3 gigabytes of RAM on here, and this is the Exynos 7904 processor. It is quad core. You do have a 5000 milliamp battery, which is excellent, by the way. Very amazing. Very impressed with the battery life on this phone. You can expand the storage from 32 gigabytes, the built-in storage, to 512 with a micro SD card. This does have fast charging, which is really nice as well. So taking a look at the hardware, as you can see, this is a really nicely well built phone, and it feels really sturdy in the hand and has a little bit of weight to it when you pick it up. It's not going to feel really flimsy and light like most cheap smartphones. So if you look at the bottom, you have a headphone jack, which is really awesome, USB-C, and you only get one speaker. There's no sound coming out of the grill on the front, if you're curious about that. So overall, very minimum. The fingerprint scanner works very well, as you can see getting to the device. I've heard some people say it was laggy, but I had no problems. You just have to, make sure you're putting your finger on correctly, or sometimes you have to put them in a few more times, the same finger. So if you boot into the software on this guy, you can see that it's very snappy. It's running Android 8.1, which is really I'm assuming that this will get Android 9.0 soon, but for right now it's running Android 8.1 on top of Samsung's UI. And let's go ahead and check on that. I did get an update. Let's go back, software information. So Samsung 9.5 experience running on this guy. So overall, not too much with the software. As you can see, it's just pretty bare bones Android. If we go into the app drawer, we don't have too many Samsung applications. We have Samsung Notes on here, which I thought was pretty noteworthy. As you can see, you can obviously take notes. If you buy a stylus, you can jot down notes and stuff like that. And they have a paintbrush application here, which is really nice. So if you want to use this phone for a stylus, with a stylus, the screen is plenty big enough to do that. So let's go ahead and check out some the other applications. You have My Galaxy on here, which is this phone is being released. It's going to be really popular in India, so they have a separate app store. So I don't know how that works, but it's pretty much like the same thing. You can see like Indian stuff. So that's there as well. I don't know much about that. We click on the Samsung app, so we have the Samsung browser and stuff, just the standard stuff on here, so not a lot of bloatware. This device came with, after I was done installing updates, 15 gigabytes of storage, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at the display on here, because it's the best thing you're going to be looking at constantly. And the display on here is really gorgeous. The colors are really beautiful. It just really pops excellently. So you'll love watching media on here. The speakers sound really good as well. So if we go ahead and jump into gaming, so gaming on this smartphone is really excellent as well. If you guys want to see more in depth, I did do a separate gaming video. You'll be able to play PUBG on medium settings just fine. I ran the PSP emulator as well. It'll pretty much run anything in the Google Play Store that you throw at it, which is going to be really nice for a $200 smartphone. So one of the things I want to get into is Dolby Atmos. So it's one of my favorite features on here. So let's go ahead and just hop into Spotify. And what Dolby Atmos does is it equalizes your music to make it sound better, and it's a really excellent feature once you mess around with it. If you have a good pair of headphones, I recommend like Audio-Technica headphones. They'll definitely make your music sound really good, really new. So let's go ahead and hop into sounds and vibrations. If you go down, you'll see the Dolby Atmos knob. You can see the equalizer right here. You just go ahead and turn it on when you have your headphones on. You can go ahead and equalize the bass and the treble depending on what genre of music, and just go ahead and equalize and see what sounds best for you. They do have adapt sound. What that does is it'll try to find the best sound for you for calls and music videos and stuff like that, you know, depending on your environment and also on your age too. I found that it didn't really work as well, so I didn't really mess with it. I really just equalized it myself. So if you're big into listening to music on your smartphone, it's definitely going to sound great. The speakers on here sound really good as well. I'm going to go ahead and give it a full blast. And you get a lot of vibration down here as well. You can really feel the screen vibrating. So that works really good as well. Also, one of the things I want to know, this phone has its own VPN on here. Samsung Max, it like automatically puts a VPN on here, which is excellent. So I didn't even have to install it, which I thought was pretty nice. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cameras on here. I was actually really impressed with the camera on here. So you do have live focus mode on here. So this is best for blur effects. So if you want to take a picture and make it really blurry, you would turn this on. This is for beauty mode. I found that this makes you kind of like a little more fair skin, and kind of like removes, obviously it's going to remove the blemishes, but it just makes you look a little weird. So I don't know, you would have to, you know, test that out. The Pro, we also have paranormal on here, just some normal stuff for a camera. What I thought was really interesting, I had a lot of fun with, was the stickers on here. So as you can see, it's sort of like a Snapchat thing. So this phone has really good quality, a front-facing camera for Snapchat. If you want to go ahead and do that. So continuous shot is, it'll take rapid shots, which is really great. So getting to the picture quality overall, as you can see, this takes really great pictures. I was really impressed with the color on this smartphone as well. This took dead on accurate when it came to the color of the photos. It was really sharp pictures, so no complaints for a $200 smartphone. I think the quality of photos you're getting is actually really great, and the same for video as well. This takes excellent video as well in 1080p, which I really love. Alright, and lastly, I wanted to talk about battery life with this phone. If you're a medium to light user, you can probably go 3 days on this phone and not kill the battery life. The battery life is amazing on here. It barely moves, and it charges in about 2 hours from 0 to 100%. But if you're charging from 25%, it'll obviously charge up faster. But this thing hasn't moved at all, and I would consider myself a light user. I don't game a lot, so if you do a lot of web browsing, video, this phone will last a really long time, which is pretty amazing. So if you need a dependable smartphone with great battery life, this phone is really good. Alright guys, if this review helped you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.